All right, I decided to do it. We're gonna do the last video, fourth video, which makes it 14 videos over the past 3 days. I think if tomorrow I do 5 videos, it'll be like a record or something, and maybe we could actually like. I'm running out of fucking notes. I'm doing these videos so fast now. Don't worry about it. Haha! I found a fresh page with at least like 6 insecurity, inner fragmentation to inner manifestation. Yeah, that's somebody actually like mentioned it in the comments. I love it when you guys comment. 1, 2, 3, shit. Okay, yeah, I have at least 15 videos that are lost. So yeah, I think tomorrow if I do 5, I would love to kind of like power through it. But hey guys, today's video is about faith and a small story that happened last week. How about it? Are we down? Let's go. In the spirit of harmony, because I was talking about trees, gardens, forests, and basically Shosmo. And the last video was communication. But I did a video as well a couple of days ago. Fuck man, there's just a lot of videos about communication. I like it how there's always a theme or a vibe, and even though like the notes that I have are kind of like different, but I always kind of approach them with whatever I'm going through at the moment. Interesting. I should actually make a mental note. Here we go. Video. How the vibe sways the videos, even at different topics. But how do we achieve harmony, man? How do we achieve rhythm? How do we achieve small, not melody, but a harmony rhythm? How do you achieve this flow where there's the least amount of friction happening? And I mean, it's like whatever elements are interacting with each other that normally cause friction, for harmony to exist, what they have to do is they have to be good with each other. They have to be kind of like, they have to understand each other, and they have to like be able to engage with each other without actually interfering in each other's work. And let's face it, in order for that understanding to exist, they need to be able to kind of like dictate, notice the word I'm using, dictate to each other how their preferences are so that the others don't actually impede their activities. Communication. It's basically communication. It's basically, imagine two people have to dance, they have to be able to communicate. Now they're not talking to each other, but like anytime they move, the other person follows, the other person leads, and they're kind of like everyone's giving a sign and the other one's receiving. It's a form of communication. The same way a band, when they're harmonizing and playing the song, like they're following the beats, everyone's kind of like doing their thing in order for them to kind of like do one thing right, harmonize, which is essentially the band members communicating well with each other. Whether it is communicating through music, before music, being able to understand their styles and all that stuff, there are a series of events that are communication based in order for people to be able to understand each other. Trees growing next to each other, same thing. Birds within the same nest, same thing. People in the same house. You want frictionless house, a frictionless household, same thing. All these small things are just literally us engaging and trying to communicate. Whether it's an idea in your head, you're trying to communicate with it. But so, forgetting the intensity on communication, I woke up one day and I decided to go walking. And I was going to see my mom and I decided to go walking. And I promised myself I'm going to do exactly, I promised myself I'm going to do the exact same walk that I did before. And I was like enjoying everything. And I was literally looking at all kinds of, I was looking at all kinds of just random thoughts that come up because like I'm doing a walk that I used to do before. And I'm at a stage right now where it's different because I've been outside of the house for 6 months almost. So the last time I did this walk this way was the last time I saw this scene, I was still sleeping at my parents' house. And so as I was walking, I was like I was just like walking, and then I was kind of having this conversation about a small segment that I read, or a big chapter in a book that I read. The chapter was about faith, and I was like, I mean, like, no, I know that I can do what I can do because if it's humanly possible, it's doable. Done. I believe I can do it because I really think that for it to be able to exist, I am always, 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 and actively looking at the things that are working and that are not working, and I'm literally doing everything that it takes. I'm doing more every single day that's different in order for me to make sure that I have a clear eye on what I'm doing and not get stuck in a certain rut or something like this. And the only reason I'm doing this right now, or I'm confident about talking to about it, is because I got stuck in ruts before. And then I go like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I not moving forward? And I stop, and then suddenly you realize you're not actually like doing anything new, or whatever you've been doing is not really something that's working, or there are like a million reasons why a startup does not actually pull through, or doing something you want to do doesn't actually like happen the way you want to do it. But then the belief that I can do it is definitely there. I know I can do it because I know I can do it because I'm capable. Of course I am. Everyone's capable. Everyone can figure out how to be capable. You're a human being, and other human beings have done a lot more or different things. So if you're a human being, you have a mind, you can think, you can fucking do it. Done. Believe, of course I believe. Why? Because I know I could actually learn things. I know I can improve. I know I can change. Know I can adapt, which means I believe I can do it. But faith, and I was like kind of like stuck in awe. I was like, what the fuck? How do you explain faith, man? And naturally, the first thing that popped in my mind, or the things that popped in my mind, were a whole lot of just random quotes, random videos of people saying, you gotta have faith. It was like, when you have faith, and all that kind of stuff, which is literally where I felt I was stuck. Because faith is something that you can't convince yourself in, right? There's no rationale behind it. But it's funny because like I was laughing at the whole concept behind faith and how I was like, no, yeah, I have faith, but like I never considered it as something important because like I'd rather spend that energy on the things that I want to do. But here, the energy that I'm spending is literally based on me and my own kind of like element or angle or perspective. So there has to be something. Like it's always everything I'm doing is for the bigger picture, right? So like my faith in the bigger picture is basically what faith could be about. But anyways, I literally was like, so I know I can do it. I believe I can do it, and faith. I have to have faith that I can do it. So I know I can do it. It's my own self, kind of like seeing this and understanding it. I believe I can do it. It's also me. But with faith, I have faith. You can't know faith. It's not I faith. Like I believe I can do it. It's not I faith. I have faith I can do it. And that's basically the thing. Like that word itself means it's not something coming from you. And it hit me. So I was like, what is faith? Really, like out loud. And I was thinking about out loud, and I stopped for like a second. It was the halfway mark on going back. And I was like, literally, it was like, what is faith? How can I prove faith? And I just like stopped for a second. I crossed the halfway mark, and I started basically out loud considering how one could actually prove faith or experience faith or understand faith. And it's funny because like the mind is beautiful, nature is beautiful, the world is beautiful, the universe is beautiful. Anything you look at, literally, it's all about how you're choosing to put it on an angle. And the fun thing happened was it started raining. And when it started raining, the first thing that popped in my mind is like, I should start going home. Maybe I should stop. I'm gonna get wet. Like your head starts like laying out the information, and your mind is just kind of going left and right with everything that's a possibility and every possible outcome. But being the person I am, and I was like, if it's gonna rain on me, fine, doesn't matter. At least it's raining and I'm going back to my parents' house. I could take a hot shower, right? Like I was excited for a hot shower or something like this. I didn't. I ended up taking a cold shower. But the idea was, no, I'm already halfway in my route to go back, and it rained because I kind of like pushed the alarm an extra half an hour later. So I'm gonna take responsibility. And then I laughed when I said I'm gonna take responsibility. And what I did was I looked up and I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna take responsibility. I'm gonna walk to the house. It's fine. It'll be nice though if it doesn't rain until I reach the house. And the funniest thing happened. It stopped raining. It took a minute and a half, but it stopped raining. The more fun thing happened is I entered the house, and the minute I got to the house, I entered the building, and the minute I got to the house, I looked at my mom, and she was like, "Oh my God, man, what wasn't it raining?" And I go like, "Yeah, so what?" And she goes like, "Oh my God, I'm glad you made it." And she looks at the outside, and she points out, and she goes like, "It just look at it, it's starting to rain right now." And my head went, and I was like, maybe you can't rationally explain faith, but maybe all you need is just to like kind of see the small things that you ask for be presented one way or another, whether it's your hard work or whether some like force of nature or whether it's just like your parents thinking of you and all that cute stuff. And at that moment in time, I literally just found faith, or at the very least understood what faith is. And effectively, what I did, I went home and I wrote something, and maybe I'll read it to you next time. But it was super beautiful because imagine all I had to do was ask if it stopped raining or not, right after asking what faith is, and it stopped raining. And it started raining the minute I got into the house, the same way I asked for it. If this is a weird coincidence, I don't believe in coincidences. I haven't believed in coincidence for the longest time. It's just probably that simple. Is there something you want? Ask for it, find a way to do it, and as long as you're committed, it's all you need. That's faith, and that's a video. Thank you, babies.